6 to shoot. Joe Johnson on the wing. Here's Young. Falls back and drains the fadeaway jumper. Young's got his first bucket of the night. The Hornets have gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. And Lamb kicks to Walker. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. In transition, here come the Nets. Here's Sloan, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. A big dip in performance here for the Hornets last year. In 2014, they were very tough to beat at home, and that was not the case in 2015.
Yeah, I mean, they struggled to string together those defensive runs at home. And in the end, that led to their less than stellar record.
And, you know, that record for the Hornets last year at home, they ended up going 19-22, 6 fewer wins than they had in 2014 when they last made the playoffs.
And getting back to the Hornets, they were the worst shooting team in the league at home. And they have to remedy that in a hurry. Shot only 42% here last season.
Here's Sloan. Here's Lopez. Hawes with the block. Walker with it. Pass to Hawes. Launches it. The shot's good on the assist by Walker. Hawes got 8 points.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
Now here's Ellington. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Now the fast break. Lamb with the ball. Tries from 10. Rejected by Young. In transition, here come the Nets. Moving it up. Walker with some nice D.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Walker with it. Ellington defending. Walker goes in. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Walker's got his second bucket of the game to go.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up a bunch of height, then you better be able to manufacture things in the air.
And the shot is good. And now the first timeout called here for the Hornets.
You know, the Nets really kind of drifted along for the first part of last season, treaded water, but after the All-Star break, they stepped on the gas, put themselves right back in the playoff picture.
Catching up on the changes for Charlotte. Zeller is checked in for Hawes. Kid Gilchrist comes in for Marvin Williams. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Lamb. Bargnani is checked in for Brooklyn. There's the screen. Walker goes in. The shot, no good. Brooklyn trailing. Johnson left side. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Michael Kidd Gilchrist. That is his first foul of the game. Hansbrough's checked in for Nicholas Batum. And a new group in for the Nets. Reedy's checked in for Young. Karasov comes in for Johnson. Markel Brown, he's checked in for Wayne Ellington. And Shane Larkin subbed in for Donald Sloan. Here's Larkin. Zeller grabs the board. As you mentioned, the Nets were great after the break, had the third best record post-All-Star break in the East.
Yeah, and how about winning 13 of their first 22 after the break? And sometimes with a new coach and system, it takes a while to kind of figure things out. And that seemed to be the case with the Nets last year.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Charlotte.
They've definitely had a hot hand from three-point range. Always nice to get off to a good start.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
Here's Larkin. Reed a screen on Walker. Larkin dishes to Reed. Hornets with the rebound.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
And the hope for Jeremy Lin last season was that he'd take a step forward in his development, but it almost was the opposite in his play.
And that can happen. You don't always go a straight line north in your improvement in this league. He'd been on an upward swing as far as his shooting accuracy, but last season was the worst since his rookie year in that area.
And talking about Lin last season, he never quite gelled with what they were doing in Los Angeles. Both he and Kobe need the ball to be effective, and I got a feeling you guys know which one of those two is going to get it.
Now, here is Bargnani. He's coming off a 13-point game against Atlanta. Outside, Walker. From 17 feet out. No good. And it's the Nets taking it the other way.
And, you know, getting back to Lin, he was actually pretty strong starting out the season. In November, he made 48% of his shots, 37% from downtown. But in April, he only hit 24% from the field and was eventually shut down for the year.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
They have got to put a body on it, because otherwise, with his agility and athleticism, they're not going to be able to contain him on the offensive glass.
There's a screen. There's a screen by Hansbrough. Zeller passes to Lin. From deep, Walker. Again, the miss by Walker. Nets trail by 3. Here's Larkin. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Here's Bargnani. And he gets the shot to fall after coming off the pick.
Great job of utilizing that screen and finding space to knock down the jumper. Good basketball.
Charlotte calls timeout.
Guys, Bargnani was compared to several other international players when he came out. Some said he was Nowitzki. Others thought he might be more like Yao Ming in terms of impact. Ming was the only other player taken 1 overall who had never played high school or college hoops.
And that one's good. And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
Yeah, it's just hard to make up when you have an inability to make free throws consistently, and that's why they ended up losing.
Yes, sir. I think some doubt started to creep in when they kept missing those foul shots. I mean, you could see them start to shy away from wanting to even go to the line.
Nice job coming off that screen. Bargnani's got his second bucket of the night.
You can't afford to give him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Now, here's Walker. His last outing, he had 18 points. Down low, here's Hansbrough, and so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot two. The Hornets shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
Not really where you'd like to be as a team in terms of free throw shooting, just about 73%.
You know, the numbers from the line, guys, are close to where they were last year, but just a tad worse, so not too bad.
And listen, the Nets had an up and down year on offense last season, but the one thing they always did was finish their drives. Very good at getting things to drop off the bounce. That was a strength last season.
Here's Larkin. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Over to the left wing. Nets passing it around. Bargnani against Hansbrough. Again, the Nets for two. For the Nets, and they're driving. They were fantastic, Clark. Second in the league last year in field goal percentage off those drives.
And a big reason for that is the strength and size of their guards, because they all can finish in traffic, and that's how you get high shooting percentages. You have to make tough shots against contact.
And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for two. It's going to go on Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
No question he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
Brooklyn shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Not a strong suit for this group, just around 71%.
And this year they haven't quite been able to maintain the free throw percentage they had last season.
After making it to the playoffs in 2014. The Hornets couldn't repeat the feat in 2015. A slow start probably, Greg, more than anything else did him in.
Really disappointing season coming in with such high expectations, and 33 and 49 just not good enough to get into the playoffs in any season.
Now here's Walker. He's got 7. And again, the Hornets missing. Here's Larkin, defended by Lynn. Picked by Bargnani. Larkin kicks to Bargnani. And the go-ahead bucket, no good. Tie game here in Charlotte. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return.